Hi there, welcome back. Gratitude sharing has been a part of our morning meetings from the start of the pandemic. It's kept us sane for most of 2020. As a matter of fact, we document all our gratitude like a reservoir of good news that we dip into if we need it. Emotional well-being action points for us to say has been something that we've shared with our clients, with our friends, and they've stood us in really good stead. However, in the last 3 weeks, this gratitude has been tinged with a bit of sadness. With the number of COVID cases going up, the death of loved ones, each time I say I'm grateful for my life, for the health of my family, there's almost a sense of guilt to say that, do I want this? Is this the gratitude that I want to share? My heart is screaming to say, no, this is not the gratitude that I want to share. I want to share gratitude in which the pandemic is ended. I want my loved ones back. But is that something that I share in my gratitude? No, not really. Do you know why? Because I believe myself to be positive and strong. This video really is a reach out to all my friends who believe that the only freedom they can allow themselves during this time of the pandemic is to feel up and about, to feel positive, to feel resilient all the time. So after a year of trying to bounce off the walls and keep myself up and about all the time, I've had a few learnings which have actually helped me a lot over the last 3 weeks, and I'd want to share them with you. The first thing that I have learned is to allow myself the freedom to complain. I let the child in me once a day tell me what's wrong with its life, and then I listen patiently. Once the child's finished telling me what isn't working, I ask him to move on. That's working really well for me. The second thing that I'm doing with myself is allowing myself the freedom to cry. I remember as a child, my mother would say, when you cry, your eyes get washed and all the muck gets flowed out. It does pretty much the same to your heart as well. So when the tears want to flow, please do let them flow. The third thing that I'm allowing myself to do is slow multitasking. So let's say I'm not being able to read, I'm not being able to create, I'm not being able to make that presentation or that proposal that I don't really want to make. I park it on the side. I let it be. I go do something totally random. And once my mind has taken this little mind vacation, it starts to work a lot better. The fourth thing that I've allowed myself to do is to take cat naps or cat meditative breaks during the day. Nothing quite like hard booting your mind for it to work a lot better. The fifth and the final thing that I'm doing is based both on my Buddhist practice and on science. It is a concept of changing seasons, of saying that you have winter, and winter can be the bitterest and the coldest, but it will turn into spring. So all that I really need to do is keep me and my loved ones warm through this winter so that we are ready to welcome the spring when it comes. It's the law, and it just never can change. So my parting note to you really is to say resilience and hope are not good to haves. They are the things to have for us to really continue to live. So I invite you on this journey of self-exploration. So I invite you on this journey of digging into yourself, because you know the best as to where are you going to get your hope and resilience from. I wish you a courageous week ahead.